So I haven't given my actual reaction to the guy who used to be the Mac guy going over to Intel, getting paid by Intel to say, hey, I used to be the Mac guy and now I'm the PC guy again. Except they don't really say I'm the PC guy because that brings back connotations of John Hodgman, who was supposed to be the negative, bumbling character in the original Mac versus PC ads. So they don't say that, but they're just saying Intel. There's several things wrong with this just on the face of it, right? If you do this, it's very obvious to anybody observing that Intel isn't happy with Apple Silicon. Nowhere in these ads, really, does Intel mention the M1 chip, which is the big replacement. The M series of chips is incredible. No one dislikes that chip being inside of a Mac, right? There's a few little hurdles, in terms of switching from Intel to the Apple Silicon, but the benefits drastically outweigh those little cons. And those cons are just temporary. Talking about certain apps not working with the new architecture until they're fully updated, for instance. That's just one thing. It's a really small kind of thing because if it's not working for you, just wait to upgrade. So Intel coming out like this with this ad is obvious that they're feeling insecure about it, right? They're worried about it. Just here's the thing though, as a person who likes Macs, who uses Macs, these commercials are not going to do anything to move the needle for somebody. I don't think, not for me certainly, for somebody who is in the Apple ecosystem and likes their Mac. People already know the PC options that are out there, but it doesn't work for us. It doesn't work for me. You have lots of people who really love their PCs, and that's great. I'm happy for those people. I see this picture with the Mac and then like 7 or 8 Intel laptops over on the other side of this table, and I'm thinking, I don't see a single thing on the other side of this table that I really want. Yeah, there's different colors. Yeah, they flip over and do some yoga and make tent modes and turn into tablets. But in my mind, a tablet and a 2-in-1, it's not the same as a tablet. Like a proper tablet experience to me is the iPad experience. It's not a compromise between two form factors. It is just a tablet and it works really great. It's simultaneously the frustration about having to buy a Mac or having to buy an iPad, or both. But the iPad is the penultimate tablet experience to me. You can't beat it. Certainly not with, a tent mode fold over 2-in-1 that ends up being really chunky. I don't know if you've ever actually held one. They're chunky, It's not better than an iPad to have some kind of a quote tablet mode baked into your laptop. Yeah, so I'm looking at it, and if I ever did get a PC laptop, I think I would go the Razer route because I think of everybody out there, they kind of have the best designs, or maybe the Dell route. But both I couldn't end up actually using them. I've used some really high-end PCs. People do send them to me as a tech reviewer, and I just don't like the experience as much, and I don't like the professional software as much. And I don't like that it doesn't integrate with all my other devices as well. My Mac works really great when I airdrop stuff to my iPad or my iPhone or vice versa. It's super easy to connect my AirPods or my AirPods Max or AirPods Pro. iCloud is great. Backing up my photos and just getting my photos everywhere is great without having to use anything else. And, Apple's stance on privacy, you can't really go wrong there with that. So, I'm just saying, I'm not trying out to convince anybody out there like, oh, you shouldn't consider Intel stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying these ads don't do anything except make me cringe as a Mac user. They don't make me say, oh, I didn't consider that. I should get an Intel. That's not at all what's happening here. The issue of this actual actor, having done something with Apple and then going over to do something for a competitor, I don't really care about that. I know the dude needs to get paid or whatever, and he probably doesn't actually have an affinity towards one or the other. For all we know, he actually does prefer a Mac in real life. I agree with a lot of the articles out there that just say it seems like a desperate move by Intel. It's just not a good look. If you have to try to disparage the competition rather than say, look how awesome ours is, if you can just say, here's our product and here's why you should get it and want it, and it's so beneficial and it fires people up all on its own, that's a good product. But if you have to say, well, don't consider the competition and try to point out all the negative, that's not going to work. It's never a good thing. I'm looking at one of the videos. It has almost 500,000 views. This is on Intel's channel. It's called Justin Gets Real, Having Choices. It has twice as many dislikes as likes, twice as many thumbs down as thumbs up. I mean, people can see right through this. They're not enjoying this. When you think of Intel, you think of chips, chip design. At least I do. And the real issue around this ad campaign is chips. Everything else is sort of periphery, I think. And the M1s can run applications like Photoshop 1.5 times faster than you could on an Intel-based Mac. And you know what? That's what's really funny here, because there's still Intel inside certain Macs that are being sold. In some ways, Intel's like making fun of themselves. When Intel's saying, oh, you got to plug in all these dongles, well, you have to plug in those dongles on an Intel-based Mac as well. Like my 16-inch MacBook Pro. That has Intel inside. I'm not really sure what Intel was thinking here.